Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, and if you are tuning in, you are probably smarter than the average bear. So many things to cover today. I don't know if I'm going to get to them all. It's another very warm day in Southern California. My phone says 92 right now. My thermometer, my wall says 100 degrees. Please don't make comments about how temperatures are taken. I understand how temperatures are taken. The thermometer on my wall probably indicates what it feels like. Regardless of what, the official temperature says it is, feels like 100 degrees. It's real warm. So it looks like things are escalating in Iran, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. I was cheering on the destruction of the Saudi oil fields prematurely last week, and I was just kind of cheering on the destruction of oil infrastructure, which I'm always a fan of. However it happens. However, very quickly started to it started to become obvious that it was it could possibly have been a false flag, or that it was being used as an excuse to attack Iran, of course, right? And that is what has played out over the last week. So now we're sending more troops there, and now Iran is, saying, we would like you all to leave, please. Western powers. Iran is ready to destroy any country that launches an attack on its territory. This cannot be good. Be careful and make no mistake, said the head of the Revolutionary Guards. They have also ramped up more sanctions, which hurts the ordinary people of Iran. So that's pretty terrible. That's actually an act of war in itself. Let us hope that cooler heads prevail. And very interesting that this comes on the heels of Bolton being fired. Bolton is a war hawk. Bolton is a madman. Bolton was trying to, I'm sure, urge, prod, convince, Trump to go to war with Iran. Maybe he was for it, maybe he wasn't, and they had a difference of opinions, and he fired Bolton, and then this happens, right? So, we saw something happen in Afghanistan. We just saw something happen in Afghanistan. Oh, we're gonna have a peace talk. Oh, there's an attack, and we can't have a peace talk now. We haven't made any strikes on Iran, even though a lot of saber rattling was going on. Then this attack happens. Oh, well, I guess we gotta do something because Saudi Arabia, we gotta protect. They're our allies. Just ridiculousness all around. In many ways, this is not good. Moving on to climate change news. There's flooding in Winnipeg. People trapped in cars as thunderstorms roll through Manitoba. I was talking about the Texas floods, and somebody mentioned, hey, there's flooding in Canada. And now apparently there is another storm about to hit Japan. And they've already seen some damage in Japan. Again. I really don't, this isn't just something that happens once a year in Japan. It happens multiple times a year over the last 3 years in Japan. I don't understand how they are, going on with business as usual, but they seem to be doing just that. Industrial civilization is a resilient beast. Let me see. I wanted to go over and check out things on Facebook. One of the followers here on the channel caught up with me on Facebook and took a couple pictures in, this is in Ottawa, and I guess he's going to be taking pictures in Montreal. of the Montreal protests. So hopefully we'll have some more pictures. So in Ottawa, the kids did some chalk graffiti on the, I guess, what is this building? Let me see if I can get the Prime Minister's office. So, sorry about that. I'm scared. Save us. I want you to panic. The planet is burning. Do something. It's just chalk. Fuck off. That's a good one. Imperialist murderers, wake up. Go climate strikers. Another thing that I wanted to post up from Facebook. So this is a friend of mine in Houston. I'm sorry. He got flooded out. He's an artist and he's also a musician, and he's showing some of the art he saved. But I just saw a picture. They're not showing it to me now because I already looked at it. Where is it? Dang it! I really dislike Facebook on many levels for many reasons. He just posted some pictures of some flooding. Darn. I'm sorry. Anyways, I can't spend too much time looking for this. I'm going to move on, but maybe I can find it and show it to you tomorrow. Anyways, he got some of his music equipment off the ground just before the floods came in, but he had a lot of damage. And had some good pictures of some very high water where he lives in Houston. So let's move on to the climate strike things happening this week. So at the suggestion of one of our longtime viewers, Henry Holt, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow at noon Pacific Daylight Time. So if you can tune in at noon tomorrow, people are all over the place, so hopefully that's a good time for people. I don't know. I'm going to do a live stream. It's probably going to be half an hour to 45 minutes. And we're just going to talk about what's going on. And I'll try to be giving some updates about the actions that are happening tomorrow. Also, I'm going to do a live stream on Friday, the 27th. There's going to be a huge global climate strike on Friday, September 27th. So I'm going to be doing a live stream then. I think I'm going to be going out to cover some if there's actions in LA, and there will be. What I'm going to do is try and do a live stream from my phone. I don't know how that's going to work. So I'm going to go try and cover some climate actions on Friday. If I cannot do that, then I'm just going to do a live stream from my studio, and I'm just going to try and feed in other people, from around the world who are participating, and we can talk about it and kind of just watch it unfold. So tomorrow is the UN Climate Action Summit, and this is the reason, one of the main reasons that Greta Thunberg came here on a sailboat was to speak and participate and kind of be present for the UN Climate Action Summit. And this entire week is known as Climate Week 2019. This is from the Environmental Defense Fund, 5 Things to Know for UN Climate Action Summit. I'm going to quickly go through these. The new generation of climate activists won't take no for an answer. We all need to stand with leaders like Greta Thunberg, whose battle cry, "Act like our house is on fire," is forcing the world to pay attention. Still hearing differing ideas about how her name is pronounced. I've heard her directly say her name, Thunberry, but I don't know if that's right or not. Anyways, I mean, she said it, so I was going to go with Thunberry. 2, the UN Climate Action Summit is the starter gun for global climate action. The UN Secretary General has thrown down the gauntlet for the summit, challenging leaders to come forward with plans for real, scalable actions, allowing for the transformation of economies and enhanced countries' climate ambitions. The summit is not about potentially hollow, ambitious statements, but about defining roadmaps for meeting commitments. There is no better way to move countries toward increased ambition than to illuminate the stepping stones along the way. Plans, not talk, not, we really gotta cut emissions. They're looking for actual real, how do we do this? Nonetheless, it wasn't easy to get to this point. At the stock-taking meeting in Abu Dhabi on July, it was clear the summit's focus on solutions required that the UN and countries work closely with civil society and the private sector like never before. The summit is not about how. The summit is about how, not what. The science is clear. In order to avert the worst impacts of the climate crisis, we need to achieve net zero climate pollution, producing no more than we can remove as soon as possible. Such a climate neutral world means that any remaining emissions need to be balanced by removing carbon dioxide from the air. I would let's mostly steer towards stopping the emissions. And what does that mean? Not offsetting our emissions by who knows what. We need to really, really work towards zero emissions, not climate neutrality. I'm just going to put that out there. Countries and companies need to take strong action now. Of course, 4 Climate Week will drive scalable actions from all sectors. Let's hope that's true. Sectors are energy transition, climate finance and carbon pricing, industry transition, nature-based solutions, cities and local action, resilience, and adaptation. At the summit, we are expecting to hear about big commitments made in each of these tracks by countries and companies, often convened by civil society such as EDF. 5, the United States must move to a 100% clean economy, and that's absolutely true. We need to be setting the pace, not lagging behind, and not waiting for other people to take action on any level. Transitioning to 100% clean entails shifting our entire economy, power plants, transportation, factories, and more to generate net zero pollution overall. We also need to talk about dismantling industrial civilization as we know it. They're not including that. I would like to include that. It's not just about transitioning to clean energy. It's about realizing that we need to live a carbon-free, very, very low carbon emitting lifestyle, which means we don't need to transition all of our industry to something else. We need to shut industry down. We need to talk about how many industries we can shut down and still exist on some level. And we probably won't have the same standard of living. That's not going to happen. And I've heard some interesting ideas around this, like first world countries need to lower their emissions and move to a low carbon lifestyle. But we need to allow third world countries to raise their standard of living. That gets a little dicey for me. Because, and that's called climate justice, I guess. And, I don't know. That's just something to talk about. This is a conversation piece. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying, what does that mean? How does that work? So, third world countries are allowed to buy a bunch of cars or build a bunch of factories or build a bunch of, build a bunch of power plants in order to raise their standard of living, while first world countries need to somehow reduce their standard of living. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That sounds a little weird to me, and I would like to hear some input on that, and we'll probably discuss that in the future. The tree planting thing also is somebody linked an interesting video, which I will try to find and link in this video. The video was talking about there's a problem with monoculture tree planting in this video I'm talking about, but you know, they're actually talking about the fact that monoculture tree planting is intended somehow to have those trees be harvested. No. And I think their point is that it's bad because the trees are being harvested. I don't see it being necessarily bad if the trees are, you know, let the trees grow and turn into forests and whatever. Is monoculture tree planting bad in general? Probably, yeah. But, you know, if you're not planning on harvesting those trees, then it's probably not that bad. It's better to have mixed culture tree planting, and they talk about that. They also talk about rewilding in this video. I'm going to link the video below, and I'll probably talk about it again tomorrow a little more. Rewilding, yes. But also rewilding means no humans allowed. Like, you know, rewilding, I think, is a really great idea, and I think rewilding has to happen big time. I'm all in for rewilding. I'm a big proponent of rewilding. That means taking us and our impacts out of the equation, like as much as possible. We need to leave these areas alone. I'm all for it. Again, we can discuss about, you know, hopefully maybe tomorrow on the live stream, we can discuss a little bit about that and, you know, different takes on that. It's a big, you know, greening the earth is an excellent idea. It's you know, one of the biggest ways we can sequester CO2. Again, if you're harvesting trees, that's not good. Planting trees, good. Harvesting them, not good. Planting wild things and, you know, letting wild areas rewild, or pastures rewild, or, you know, natural areas rewild, that needs to happen. I'm going to wind this down. So I was looking for, in the last video, about the link for the Shutdown DC, and hopefully we can cover some of this tomorrow. Hopefully I can get some live streams from somewhere, you know, feeding in about the Shutdown DC action. The actual website is strike.dc.org. So you can go to strike.dc.org and check it out. This is kind of it's called Rally List, and this is about Shutdown DC climate action. So I'll link the strike.dc.org page. Here it is here. I'll link it below. Shutdown DC, Global Climate Strike 2019, September 23rd. This is tomorrow, starting tomorrow. On September 23rd, we're going to shut down DC. This starts in the morning, first thing in the morning. So yeah, if you're in the area and you can be a part, that would be great. If you're there, you know, if you're there tomorrow and you can kind of send us a feed or figure out a way for us to maybe link you in. I don't know if we can make that happen. You know, tomorrow at noon is coming quickly. If that's going to happen, you have to contact me before noon Pacific time. So if you want to try and feed in, if there's a way we can link you in, and maybe have some, you know, on the ground reporting from one of the followers, that would be super cool. Let's talk maybe tonight or tomorrow morning about how we can make that happen. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. Until next time, peace.